Hi there, welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree, and in this video I'm doing a shadow reading for Scorpio. For this series I've been using the TrueBlack Tarot by Arthur Wang, the Black Tarot by Victoria Iva, and this is the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle by Serafina Mesa. Now I've already smudged the decks and smudged the space. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. All right, Scorpio, if for any reason this video is not resonating with you, try the video for your rising sign or your moon sign. You can also check out your sidereal placements as well. The sidereal astrology uses the true placement, the true location of the constellations and the true sizes of the constellations. So sometimes our placements are about a sign over, about a sign backwards. Yes, sign before. So for instance, I am a Scorpio sun in tropical, and sidereal I am a Libra sun. So so Libra comes before Scorpio, so I guess they're a sign. I don't know if that would be ahead or behind. Whatever. Okay, and please remember to like the video if you like it. Hit the thumbs up button. If you want to be notified when I post new videos, just subscribe. And my favorite of the three is leaving a comment. I really enjoy the feedback. I take constructive criticism as well. And so any kind of comment you have, it'll be appreciated as long as it's not mean-spirited. So, okay, Scorpio, let's see what the cards have to say about your shadow. Oh, the Lover's card. Wow. That's a major arcana card. And then we have the reverse Seven of Swords. This was in Gemini's reading. It was over here. And that's interesting. Sometimes these cards kind of pop up. And I would like you to know that I don't just pick up the cards and put them on top. I kind of slide them in between each, portion of the deck. So, and then I do some shuffling, I kind of extensively shuffle. So, just want to point that out. And, okay, so we're going to do the third placement here, and that is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So air energy, and then this is your card, Gemini. Also air energy. So lots of air going on. Okay. All right, so straight off the bat, the Lover's card is talking, this is, like I said, our major arcana, and this card speaks of an intense, deep connection. There's two energies that have come together, and they've combined their energies, and they have created this love, this bond. And these two energies are themselves with one another. They're comfortable. And it can be between a man and a woman. It can be between a woman and a woman, a man and a man, and then I also can see it being with like a pet or something of the sorts. And I would even say that it could go as deep as something like nature. I have an intense bond with nature. I actually cry when I see trees being cut down and leveling. It hurts my heart to see that happening, and I hate it. I cry when there's lots of litter around. So like it's an intense bond, and I wonder if nature cries. Like, never mind. Okay. It's just an intense bond between two energies, and they come together. It's also about being vulnerable, that ability to be vulnerable and show your true self with this other energy. And then we have the swords, the Seven of Swords here. And this card is of deceit. It's like something is not true. Something is not ringing true for you. Something is going on as far as maybe the way that you're perceiving something, or something, the way something might be being presented to you. And it kind of seems like it just might not be true. And then, well, I'm saying that as I'm looking at this card, because this card can sometimes actually be truth. It can be that thing, that feeling, that thought that is true. And it can also be that initial thought, that very, you know, spark of intelligence, that initial start. I'm gonna light an incense here. I have a candle going, but I feel like I don't know. I just wanted y'all to see that flame. Okay. All right, here we go. So it's like that thought, you know, that very first bright light bulb that goes off. And it's an idea. And so these two being in reverse, you know, it's kind of like either there's some deception that's not actually true, that's a false deception, or it's just a blatant out just lie, and it's just like this horrid thing that's going on within the mental landscape, okay? And as how it relates to the lovers, we are going to have to find out. So with that, we're going to dive a little bit deeper using Victoria Iva's Black Tarot. She also recently put out the Guiding Light Tarot, which is similar in artwork to this, but it's different. It's very simplistic, minimalist, and it's white. The cards are glossy. It's the exact opposite of this, and it's not so macabre as this deck is. I do love this deck though. I have, there is a flip through of this in the description, and on that channel I do have a flip through of the Guiding Light Tarot. So if I piqued your interest in some kind of way, you can check out the artwork of these two cards. And Victoria Iva does some amazing artwork. I follow her on Instagram, and she's always putting out some cool stuff. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what the Lovers has to say. So King of Wands, Heir of Fire, the Hanged Man in reverse, Major Arcana, and then we've got the Nine of Spheres in reverse. That is water. The Hanged Man is ruled by Neptune, which is also water, and all of this is in reverse. So this connection here, you know, it's kind of a hard thing to say exactly about love and connections and, you know, that type of things. And especially reading with cards, you know, you don't want to put a bad seed in someone's head. And I want to say that things can always be changed. Now, this is kind of like a snapshot of what's going on now and what the current energies are being read right now. Like that butterfly effect, you know, a simple flutter of the butterfly wing can change things. And just because the cards say something doesn't mean that is set in stone. It can always be changed. We as humans have the power to manipulate. We manipulate Earth. We manipulate love, you know. We can change our feelings. We can, you know, we have so much power within ourselves to manifest. We can do so many things. We can, you know, change the way we think about things, you know, just by simply meeting someone with a different viewpoint and sitting down and having a dialogue between you two. You know, that communication can put a thought into your head and kind of change it. So like with all of that being said, you know, if there is some kind of love connection, some kind of connection that's going on with you, and the way that it's looking right now, it might not seem good right now, but like I said, you have the power to change it. This could be that wake-up call to go forward. So with that being said, I'm going to pull some more cards so I can get a bigger picture here before I start on with this. So let's read this Seven of Swords. We've got Death in reverse, Major Arcana, Five of Cups, and the Two of Swords. So Major Arcana, water and air. So death, let's just go ahead and continue with this, and we're going to read the Ace of Swords. So we've got the Ace of Wands in reverse, fire, Three of Spheres in reverse, that is earth, and then we've got the Justice card, another Major Arcana in reverse. Okay, so in each one of these, each row, we have a Major Arcana. And we have a Major Arcana in this first row up here, Major Arcana is this one. Second row up here, Major Arcana is Death. This row right here, next one is the Hanged Man, okay? And then this bottom row, we have Justice as our Major Arcana. Okay, this is going to take some time for me to sit with, and I'm going to articulate it as best I can. I'm going to start off by talking about each one of the Major Arcanas. The Hanged Man is, it can be about sacrifice. It can also be about changing your perspective, right? He's air energy ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is very, he's very expansive in nature. You know, he's very, no, Neptune is water. I'm sorry. Neptune is water. So he is very, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. And I don't have many studies in Neptune as well. So let me get 1 second. Okay, so the planet of Neptune is a planet of like inspiration, right? All things that are like magical, dreaming. And so that's how it relates to the Hanged Man. So, you know, when we, and it's water, it's the Hanged Man is a water card, and so is Neptune. And so the way that I want to read this is that we've got lots of water down here, so there's some definite there's a definite kind of connection. No, we don't have a lot of water. We've got fire. Why did I think that there was water? I guess because I was focused on this Neptune card. This reading is really tripping me up. I am very sorry about that. But we're going to get through it, Scorpio. I am a Scorpio sun, and I've got Mars in Scorpio, and I have Pluto in Scorpio. No, Pluto's in Libra. Anyway, okay, and then Death. Okay, I told you I was going to talk about all the Major Arcana. So the Hanged Man, and then we have Death. Now, Death is a card of change, right? It's a card of transformation. You know, things that that die off, that we don't need, make room for things that new things. You know, better gifts in our lives. I had to open a window. And so with him being in reverse, there might be a resistance to some kind of change that's going on. There might be a just sort of, either you're not allowing that change to happen, or you're just kind of sitting within that change, and you're not allowing yourself to get past it. You're not allowing yourself to receive the new that needs to come after the old falls away. And then we have Justice down here, and this card is a card of equality. It's making sure that everybody gets their due, right? You know, if you're just putting bad into the world, you know, the Justice card is going to say, hey, you know, you're a little heavy on the bad. You know, we're going to have to even that out, and you need to start doing some good. And it's also a card of like reckoning, right? It's a card of bringing down that sword and saying, you know, this is your punishment for doing all this bad. And then with it being in reverse, there might be some literal injustice that's going on here. And so we're going to put all this in context in regards to the Lovers. So this is our major energy here, and these cards down here are helping us to figure out what is going on here. So we've got the King of Wands. Kings are air, and this king is air of fire. Okay, and so the King of Wands is a card of intelligence. He knows the path that he wants to head. He knows his direction. He's got his path set out. He's got his plan. Okay, and he knows how to execute that plan. And then we also have the Nine of Spheres, which is the Nine of Pentacles, and that's a card of kind of having all that you need, right? You're content. You have what you need in your physical life, and you're not quite to the 10 yet, though. But you're almost there. It's like you're okay. This is a good spot. I'm happy here, and so with all these cards being in reverse, it's kind of like you're not as quite as comfortable in this relationship as you feel that you should, and you're kind of in a situation where you're not quite sure what you want to do about it, or if you need to do something about it, and you're kind of, I'm getting sacrifice from this Hanged Man, and it's almost like you're just kind of giving something up, almost like you're not fully invested in this for some reason, Scorpio. So let's go here to this Seven of Swords, which is that Deceit card, and Death in reverse. Like there's a change that you're not wanting to. Let's see. So Five of Cups. This card is a card of emotional sadness, emotional loss, just emotional upset. You know, it's sad. There is a little bit of sadness and a little bit of grief here. And then we've got the Two of Swords, and this is a decision. Okay, this is something that's going on in your head, and it's almost like it is like you're deciding on whether or not you need to release something, to let something go, because where you're at right now, you're kind of in a sad spot. With this Deceit card, though, it's almost like this might be a situation that let me read this. Okay. Okay. Justice. Then we've got the Three of Spheres in reverse, and then the Ace of Wands. So fire and earth. Ace of Wands is a card of initiation, that spark to get up and go. Three of Spheres is the creation, the physical creation, bringing something into this plane, right? You're bringing together resources, and you're making something new, something tangible, something you can work with. And then we've got this Justice card here, in which that it's, to me, it's saying that I kind of get the feeling that within you two, you guys, the connection that you two are both kind of not coming at each other in the purest form. And it's almost like, you know, the word trauma bond comes to mind here, where both of you guys are not good for one another, but you guys still stay together, you know, that type of situation. And that's not saying that it's a bad thing in that you guys should leave one another and find somebody who can quote unquote fix you. Maybe it's you two are needing to come together to fix one another, right? If you guys are bonded to each other in this immense way, perhaps you guys are meant to heal one another. There's just some deceit and some things that are being held on to. And I do see like a decision, a back and forth, almost a torment of like, you know, should I stay or should I go? And this person did me wrong. And, you know, and it's just, it's like you're just kind of caught up and you're not moving forward in your life because you're kind of caught up in all of this emotional and this mental torment that you've actually inflicted on each other. And with here, this hanged man, this sacrifice, I'm not getting a different perspective on this. You know, the hanged man is generally sometimes getting a different perspective on something. I'm getting more of like this sacrificial type of, what's that word? A martyr, you know, like both of you guys play this victim card, or you're like the martyr, like, oh my God, you know, because of you, I have to do this. And, you know, it's kind of just this kind of toxic type of situation here. And you guys are just kind of caught up in it. And I don't want to say that you guys need to break this and go your separate ways. There's hope for everything, and that's the meaning of hope, is that you have this idea and you can shoot for it. You know, you can follow that thing which does not quite exist yet, but you have a belief in something that is not materialized. And so that hope that is there, this bond that is keeping you guys together, you guys can use that power of that bond to propel you guys to the next level. Not only the next level as a couple, but propel yourselves as individuals to that next level. And a lot of the times we can't do that on our own because there's just so much hurt, so much distrust, so much anger, animosity towards one another. We need a third party. And counseling is a very, I love counseling. You know, it's kind of sad that we need somebody else to kind of help us through our issues. You know, why couldn't it be our parents, you know? But, you know, I have had a therapist for since like 2014, 15-ish. And I see her once in a while. It was some intense therapy for a couple years there. And she also became our marriage counselor as well. And she has helped us overcome a lot of issues that, you know, had to deal with like addiction and abandonment. And, you know, at one point I thought our relationship was unsalvageable, but it has been salvaged. And, you know, don't get me wrong, we're still working through our things, but I'm not at that point anymore. And neither is he, where we're just like, is this even going to work? Or, you know, and so my point in saying that is sometimes we need a third party, an objective third party, to help us work through things, to help us see the other side. Because when we have a trauma bond like this, and there's been so much deceit and hurt, sometimes we don't even want to believe that person, or we have just that animosity. We don't want them to be right. You know, we don't, it's a terrible situation. So we need that third party to help shine a light on those areas. And so the shadow work would be, because the shadow work is not for you guys to get your relationship back together. The shadow work is why you have stayed in this relationship for so long and allowed all of these issues to keep compiling and compounding on one another. You know, do you feel that perhaps you feel like you don't deserve anything, or perhaps you feel like nobody's going to want you, or perhaps you feel like, I mean, there's just a plethora of reasons why we can find, there's a multitude of reasons that we can find about ourselves why we're not worthy, why somebody would not love us. And so that's kind of the shadow work that needs to be done, is why did you stay in the situation so long? You know, why did you endure all this pain and this hurt? And, you know, and once you start healing yourself, I think if this connection is meant to be, and your partner will see that you're healing, and your partner will want to heal as well. And your partner can also be a great source of healing. You know, my therapist believes that people come together who can heal one another. We find people, we're just drawn to those people who trigger us, and that person is meant to trigger us, but actually come at us in a loving and understanding way. And that being that you are triggered by that situation, but you have the vulnerability and the trust to let that person know that, hey, you triggered me. You guys can start a dialogue about it. It can be decided that that person's not going to, your partner's not going to do that anymore. And it can be decided that, hey, this is something that you have to work on as an individual. And your partner, you know, for instance, won't stop wearing purple socks because that's his favorite color, you know? So, it's going to take that teamwork for you guys to heal one another. Okay, so this was a tough reading, very hard for me to articulate, definitely hard for me to say. I empathize with this situation. I understand it. And I do want you to know that this does not mean that you guys need to split up. I feel that people come together for a reason, and you guys are together for a reason. There's work to be done. And sometimes it can't be fixed, you know? Sometimes you just can't get over the hurt that someone has given you. And but you know, we learn from everything that we do. And so this, if anything, you know, this relationship can be a learning opportunity for the both of you. All right, so Scorpio, I'm going to draw, excuse me, I'm sorry, that incense really dries out my throat. So, but I do like to have smoke burning, especially on these tough ones. It just helps to clear my mind, and it helps the flow, if that makes any sense. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we have for you, Scorpio. So we have the scavenger, desperation, scarcity, wanting. I'm going to look in the guidebook. Here is the picture on the guidebook. Oh, I flipped right to it. Imagine that. I don't have to do any ABC. Everything's in alphabetical order. All right. The scavenger. There's a quote before every one of these explanations. So I'll read the quote first. The root of all suffering is attachment. Okay, now I'm going to butcher this name, but Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay, the Buddha says that there are 3 poisons that will rot the human soul: delusion, desire, and hatred. As humans, we live in a world where we are constantly bombarded by these poisons in the form of advertisements, social media, and television. We slave away at jobs we hate just to buy more stuff and things because of the fear of missing out. We are fed and consume all that we can possibly grasp with reckless abandon and pure gluttony, often at the expense of our planet, our health, and our own sanity. When the scavenger is revealed in a reading, it is asking us to end the cycle of suffering. Oh, that is very sweet. I just got goosebumps. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going to cry. Hold on. Okay. Ooh, I am just overcome with emotion right now. Okay. When the scavenger is revealed in a reading, it is asking us to end the cycle of suffering. We must let go of the delusions of this earthly plane and embrace non-attachment and groundlessness. This feeling of scarcity and inadequacy is a cycle of negative energy we've been caught up in for quite a while. We are called by the Spirit to go higher. The universe can see we are weary and is asking us to just stop. Stop chasing, stop fixating, and focus on attracting that which actually feeds our soul and nourishes our life. Excuse me. When we leave behind the grasping, desperate energies and instead focus on building up the energy of gratitude, compassion, and generosity, we become a powerful abundance magnet. This magnificent magnet pulls from the universe all that we need to thrive and succeed in this lifetime and sends it directly toward us. No more desperation, no more wanting, no more fear of missing out. When we are confident that what we are asking for is in alignment with our spiritual path and the rhythm of the universe, we will always attract and receive not only what we need, but an abundance of joy and peace we never knew possible. Now that is amazing. And that really feeds into what I was saying, is that, releasing some of this, what is like this trauma, releasing this anger and this frustration, it's going to do so much for you, whether or not you continue with this connection or not. But just being able to recognize that is what's going on, it's going to definitely help the both of you, and like I said, the shadow work for you is to understand why you've kind of stayed in this situation for so long and why it has built up to what it is. Okay, Scorpio, this was a tough one. Thank you for staying. Thank you for sharing your energies with me. And thank you for allowing me to read this for you. So take care, and I'll see you next video. Bye.